I know there's a common myth that gluten-free means healthy, and gluten-free absolutely does not mean healthy because you can have ice cream is gluten-free. But but there's a lot of folks out there with gluten sensitivities like myself, and it's quite obvious. I know, like in my family, we definitely many of us have that. Even my wife didn't think she did until she worked with a nutritionist and was told to go off of gluten, and then when she went back on it, she was like, "Oh yeah, I feel terrible."
Mhm.
Um, Curious how much of that do you see? Like, so I know it's pretty prevalent here in the United States. I have no idea how that is in Australia. I know that like in Europe, it's not really as much of a thing because I guess just the wheat that they have there is better.
Mm. It is fairly common. I wouldn't say it's the majority of people I see, but it is fairly common. Now,
Okay.
I don't know how much you know about this, but gluten-containing foods are actually high in FODMAPs. So in some cases, it can
Hmm.
be, yeah. So is just because of the composition of wheat and barley and all of that, those grains, there can be a confounding factor there. So it could be the carbohydrate component of the gluten-containing food, or it
Okay.
could be the gluten, which is a protein. So it at the end of the day, it doesn't matter because it's a gluten-containing foods that don't work for the person, but it's
Yeah.
it's not necessarily the gluten sensitivity. It could be the sensitivity to the carbohydrate component of the
Okay.
gluten-containing foods.
And I know that the FODMAPs, that's short chain carbohydrates. And I can't remember what it stands for. It's a bunch of
It's
words, bunch of
fermented.
long words.
Yeah, yeah, don't worry about it. It doesn't matter.
Do you know? Can you recite it?
Fermentable oligosaccharides, disaccharides, monosaccharides, and polyols.
Okay. Right on. You got it. You got it. Um, yeah.
So
So,
sugar alcohols are within the FODMAPs as well. So if you're chewing a lot of like sugar-free gum or drinking a lot of things sweetened with xylitol and this and that, you could be having issues as well. So
interesting.
again, something that could be healthy in quotation marks for someone who's looking to lose weight and they're doing the right thing to having by having the diet whatever,
Yeah.
um, they can be getting into trouble just because those things don't work for them. So this is why like doing a detailed diet history of what the person eats on a regular basis is so important because otherwise you have no idea what can be the issue with them.
Okay. That's really interesting. I never realized that sugar alcohols fell within that category.
Hmm.
Oh, that opens a whole different can of worms, but I'm not gonna go down that can right now. All right, here's a question that I've been dying to ask you, and this question is for me and anyone else that has or is ever planning to attend one of Ron Engelman's courses. So Ron, this is for you also. What do you do for yourself, or what would you advise someone to do that's about to embark on a 7 day, 8-ish hours per day athletic journey? You know, we so for us it's the Krav Maga. It could be, you know, some sort of like maybe a Muay Thai camp in Thailand or something. Like, what do you do for yourself, and is that what you would advise other people to do?
We're talking nutrition wise or in
Yeah,
general?
nutrition
Okay.
wise.
So number one, be sure that you're not trying anything that you have not tried before. So not because you know that you'll be training every day for 6 hours a day, you decide I'm going to do 8 to 12 grams of carbohydrate like the endurance athletes do, and you've never tried that before, and then you go there and you have a massive case of diarrhea, for example. So
Yeah.
if you're planning to go, say, from here in 4 months or something, try it out before you go. Ideally, in a similar scenario. So in a you don't need to train for the whole 6 hours, but in a really intense type of scenario, so you know what works for you and what doesn't. That's critical. Number one.
Okay.
Number two, try to be as healthy as you can. So try to be as clean in quotation marks as you can. Um,
No ultra processed crap, or
yep,
less ultra processed crap anyway.
less macas and all of that because otherwise you
That's
won't. Yeah.
That's McDonald's for us Americans, or
Yes.
Mickey D's as we say, Macca's.
Because otherwise your body will not be in optimal shape
Yeah.
going there. The other thing is research. So if you have a gluten sensitivity, for example, you need to research to see what's available in your destination.
Mm, okay.
Um, these days it's really easy to find out gluten-free foods, lactose-free foods,
Yeah.
dairy-free foods, etc. But you need to research to be able to know which restaurants you can hit once you're there, where are the nearest supermarkets. Google Translator, if you're traveling to Israel, is a lifesaver because you just hover over the camera, over the packages, and you know what's in there, and you know
I
if
know
you're
the world we
buying.
live in. It's amazing.